In the mind of any Doors fan, memories of Jim Morrison's poetry and his uniquely rambunctious performance style rest right alongside his infamous incidents of uncontrolled drunken behavior. The guy liked to drink. A lot of rock stars at the time did. But Jim was known for getting drunk enough on stage that he would curse at the audience or shout incoherently into the microphone saying things like this.
Fuck your baby in the asshole.
And that clip is him performing with Jimi Hendrix. That is a man with no shame. Obviously, it's not necessarily unique at the time for a rock and roll star to be drunk on stage. But Jim Morrison was not some brash rock and roll playboy. He was the soft-hearted poet. The Doors keyboardist Ray Manzarek, also Jim's good friend, said that there were two different Jims. There was sober Jim, who was his good friend, a kind and caring person, and then there was drinking Jim. And Ray said that drinking Jim was so different from Jim Morrison as he knew him that it was essentially an alter ego. Ray had said this in multiple interviews, including this one that appeared in the Irish Times, in which he said, quote, "It was Jimbo, the alter ego of Jim Morrison, that dark Irish drunk who took himself to Paris, and Jimbo that killed my friend Jim Morrison. And I hate that Jimbo." Shots fired at the Irish, but beside the point. According to Ray, Jimbo was the drunken rabble-rouser with the glazed eyes that you can see in old clips. Jim was the handsome rock and roll poet. And Ray also often criticized Oliver Stone's film The Doors for his portrayal of Jim Morrison in it, saying about the film, "It was not about Jim Morrison, it was about Jimbo Morrison, the drunk." God, where was the sensitive poet and the funny guy? Of course, there was undoubtedly overlap between Jim and Jimbo. Whether drunk or sober, for example, Jim seemed to love provoking his audience. But the difference between the two personas was stark enough for Ray, one of Jim's closest friends, to note that Jimbo was basically a different person from Jim. So here's where things start to connect.